Right, today we have the pleasure of working on a Nissan Sentra. This one in particular is a 2011 model. This car came in with an oil leak complaint. After looking into it, we found a bad rear main seal on this particular vehicle. What I did is I removed the frame, the cradle. I've got the transmission supported from the top with a strap. I've got my little crane on my service truck. I've got a transmission jack underneath it holding it. And right here we got a rear main seal that's leaking. You can see all the oil residue from it leaking. All in all, not too bad. Very time consuming. The freaking bolts on the flywheel are E20. They're inverted Torx. You have to be extremely careful. I've seen a lot of people cut the socket because a lot of the sockets that they sell have some sort of an indentation on them. So what they do is they grind them or cut them flush. The bolts have very little meat on them for you to turn them, and they're extremely tight. It's the type of bolt you can't make a mistake on. It'd be a nightmare to get one out if you strip the head. On the transmission, I unhooked the coolant lines that go to the oil cooler. Removed the passenger side axle. Driver's side axle, it's still in the transmission. It wasn't a problem. It wasn't bothersome to leave it in there. Rack and pinion stays on the cradle. The bolt and hardware they used on here is kind of funny. It's kind of finicky to remove. Took me a little minute to figure it out. You gotta use a primer to pry a clamp looking thing that's underneath the steering wheel. Removed sway bar link from the strut. Removed the two bolts from the strut. Took the brake caliper off. Zip tied it to the strut tower. Removed the ABS sensors on both sides and left them hanging. So I've got now the new seal I'm gonna be installing, and we're gonna be piecing this car back together. On the motor, I used an 18-wheeler brake drum, a few pieces of wood, a piece of rubber, and some brake pads to make up the space I needed to leave it safely positioned to where I could fool with the transmission. Like I said, not too bad. It's just time consuming and a little messy. Yep, we'll be putting the seal back on and installing it all back together. Thanks.